Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Path. I'm your host, Jim Lee, and I'm excited for all of you to be here. The podcast is about an investor's journey, not just the highlight reel, but the real, raw road that investor must take in order to achieve their vision. So whether you are a beginner investor or a seasoned pro, we're here to deep dive into the success, the wins, loss, and the lesson, and what it takes to really grow your real estate portfolio. Today, I have a very special guest, Gary. Thank you for being on the show, Gary.
Thank you for having me, Jim.
Yeah. So Gary and I are part of a mastermind group, Pace Morby's Owners Club, and that's how we came across each other. And I figured he has a very, very interesting background, been in cybersecurity for 30 plus years and got into real estate investing and wanted to get on the show. So, talk a little bit about his journey to real estate investing. So Gary, can you give us a little bit about your background?
Sure. Like you just said, maybe 25, 30-ish years in cybersecurity. And 2 years ago, I had a life-changing experience, diagnosed with cancer. And that's kind of what hit the light bulb. And I'm like, I don't want to continue to make money for other people that don't treat me well. Some of them did treat me well. And told my wife that I'm going to quit my job and get into real estate. Took about a year, so officially March of 2024, I officially quit my W-2 job and went into full-time real estate investing.
Well, first of all, congratulations. That's an astonishing feat. I think a lot of people in this world, they dreamed of quitting their W-2 job and really pursue that entrepreneurship, pursue that path of freedom. But it ain't an easy feat, as you and I both know. So wanted to just kind of unpack that a little bit.
Sure.
How are you able to do so after 30 years of W-2? What gave you the epiphany, like, okay, it's now or never. Let's get this started.
So going back, I've always been interested in real estate. I've always wanted to maybe take that leap and go into it. And I started with Robert Kiyosaki and read the books and paid for other classes and things, but just never really took that jump until the 2 years ago when the diagnosis, and that was the light bulb that went off. I'm like, it's now or never. If I don't do it now, what happens? I had no idea how bad the cancer was or anything, but it scared the hell out of me. And I wanted to make sure that my family was going to be taken care of. And this was the only way. I'm like, I'm going to go into this. I'll start making money, and hopefully I have something to leave for them. And if I don't make it, I do have some life insurance and some other backups and investments that will tide them over.
Yeah. So you touch up on something that I like to stress about is that as real estate investors, we cherish our time tremendously, right? Well, not just real estate investor, but just
everyone does.
Everyone does, right? In general, like I think if you want more time to spend with your family, if you want more time to do things that you want to do, that you don't end up living a life with regrets, then you got to live it to the fullest. And so going back to what you mentioned earlier, you were diagnosed with cancer and you felt like, wow, my time on this place, on the earth, is very, very, it might have gotten shorter, right?
Correct.
It might have gotten down by a lot. And now it's just no time for race. And I totally relate to that because, I was in 2 multifamily syndication projects in 2022, raised capital for these deals. Unfortunately, both those deals were on bridge loan, right? I target value add multifamily apartments. And I managed to save one through capital call and I didn't save the other. And so I practically lost my streams of income, right? Because of those 2 projects. So I was trying to figure out how can I survive in this period of time. I feel like I've been wasting a lot of time from 2022 to 2023 because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know, I wanted to stay in syndication, but I wasn't making money in syndication. And I was so stubborn to want it to work out, right, to persist. But then after that year, I went to 2024. That's when I started my own real estate meetup. I found something that involves with collaboration, and I realized, man, I really don't have much time, because the reason why I say that is because you talk about real estate syndication. Usually, it takes anywhere between 2 to 5 years for you to really see some results, and I've pretty much wasted from 2022 to 2024 in a way in my head. But I try to tell myself that's not the case, because I am making progress. I am learning from my mistakes. So so this always haunts me at the back of my head, like am I using my time to the best I can be, right? And I think that's why I also take the leap of faith to join Pace Morby's mastermind group. So yeah, tell me a little bit how you got involved with Pace Morby's mastermind.
Well, I didn't even know who Pace Morby was a year or so ago. I first joined the Kwok Brothers program, if I'm allowed to say that.
Yeah, that's funny.
And through them, I met Julie Colott, who is in Owners Club. She's the one who first told me about Pace Morby and introduced me. And I started Googling who he was. And then what was the book? I read his book, Cash Flow, or I forget the name of his book. He's going to be pissed if he sees this and that I can't remember the name of his book. But
we can edit it out.
It was really good. And and then I don't know if you know who Michael Manatsakanian is, also in Owners Club. He gave me a ticket to go to the meetup, the Squat Up Summit in Dallas. And that was another one of those aha moments and life-changing experiences. Meeting all those, that was overwhelming, meeting all those people. But I'm like, okay, now I can see. I already knew that I needed a community and needed to network. This was a great way to do it. So I bought into Owners Club. Not that I've really taken advantage of it. But I am meeting people. I am getting connected. At the same time, I decided to build a boutique hotel, and because of that, I had kind of been holding off connecting because I want to have all my facts and figures together before I bring that and kind of let the world and everyone in Pace's community know about it. Maybe now the cat's out of the bag.
Very cool. So you told my social media guy Pedro earlier about real estate investing. Why not get started now? I can say that I can ask you the same question as well, right? I know you're very passionate about this boutique hotel. Mm-hmm. Why not start talking about it within the community? Why do you think it's holding you back?
A couple reasons. So right now, I just hired a few weeks ago a company to do a market survey and feasibility study. So I want to make sure that we're actually going to move forward with it.
Sure.
And so I don't want to tell everyone about it and go, oh, I'm sorry, it didn't work. It didn't work out. I mean, I think I'm still going to build a hotel, but it just everything came about so quickly from, I want to say a week after I got back from Dallas. People from Cincinnati are calling me up. We found your location. I did not expect, by telling someone a week earlier that they're going to find me a location within a week. And that was crazy. And so started moving forward. I have my letter of intent signed and accepted. And now I want to make sure, I'm just going through the steps, maybe slowly. So once we get the market survey feasibility study that this is going to move forward, of course I'll let the world know. But I didn't want to start telling everyone about it and then they go, well, how much money do you need? I don't know how much money I need yet. What do what do you need help with? I don't know what I need help with yet.
Sure. But that's the power of having a community to depend on, right?
Sure.
And I think you and I both value that greatly because of the momentum you caught, by just attending conference, the Squad Up Summit. Was that the first conference you attended, or have you been, going to a bunch of them?
I've been to other ones, but that was literally the first one for PACE and something of that stature and grandeur. That was crazy.
It is, right? It is. So you've been to other conferences, so you can relate. When I got to that conference, it was absurd how many people there were. And then Pace goes on stage and talks about how, we kept it at 3,000, but if we want to have more than that, 10,000, no problem. I'm like, oh, wow. But yeah, so imagine that, just the amount of people there, just the community that he's built, where everybody is really there to lend a helping hand. People are just constantly looking for win-win scenarios, help each other make some money. And I think it's such a amazing community that he's built. And I was inspired by that. And that's why I treat my real estate meetup as a community I'm building. Because essentially you want to give people a sense of belonging, right? And a sense of, hey, if I'm part of this, I can not only find the right connection, find the right deal, but I can also develop myself as a leader, right? Going into these type of events. And I think that's what's brilliant about it is, just the amazing people. So talk more about it. Like, ever since you been to conference and you got into Owners Club, and now you are looking into potentially acquiring boutique hotel. Besides that, what other things have you done with the group, that's been getting good, positive response for your life?
With Pace's group, I haven't really done anything. If you're talking about real estate wise, I've done a decent amount.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about your real estate venture. How you got started, where you're at, and how it's been. So,
like I said, maybe 2-ish years ago, joined the Kwok Brothers program, started taking their trainings. And it wasn't until I flew to Chicago for one of their meets. So, the extreme opposite. Their meetup was 50-ish people tops compared to, you said 3,000. I thought it was 4,000. It was crazy. But I fly to Chicago. And the key takeaway from there, they have the speakers and do all the similar stuff, not on the same scale. One of the many key takeaway, or the top 3 takeaways, was just do it. The Nike slogan, just do it. So I took that away, like I was analysis paralysis. I kept overanalyzing all the deals that were coming through. And by going there, just do it. Met Julie Colott, and within a few weeks she comes to me and she's like, do you know anything about pad split? And I'm like, I have no idea what the hell pad split is. She brings one of her business partners on the phone with us and educates me about pad split. And within weeks we're doing our first deal. That was my first deal, was a pad split co-living in Carrollton, Georgia. And from there, kind of just snowballed. So now I have, I think, 5 different co-living, 2 or 3 Airbnbs. I've done some hard money loans, private money loans, some fix and flips, and it's through the networking and meeting people like yourself and getting connected with more people. The deals just keep coming to me. I don't even have to look for them anymore.
Quick question. Did you start Airbnb first before you got into co-living?
No.
Okay,
no.
So it was kind of at around the same time?
Yeah, I maybe did the first co-living. Then I did a private money loan for a 20-plus apartment building in Illinois, a historical landmark. And then I met Michael Manatsakanian and invested with him for another co-living facility. And then he's the one who brought me into a couple of the Airbnbs that he had.
I see. Okay. Very cool. So reason why I asked that question is because I know a lot of Airbnb operators, they're pivoting in this market to co-living.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard that. So yeah, it's a very common thing right now because the Airbnb market is not doing too well. And so one thing I noticed once I joined Pace Morby's group is most people are doing co-living and RV parks. And I was not aware of these asset classes because I came from a multifamily syndication world. So I find it fascinating that, to combat affordability issue. I also think it's definitely worth looking into. So when you got into co-living, did you just attend some classes that Michael was teaching?
No, so going back, I didn't even know it was. Julie got me on the phone with her name's Macarena, and she had already done a dozen or half a dozen pad splits. And she was showing me the numbers. She was making money. I'm like, wow, this sounds so. And I was at that time, I thought my focus was going to be multifamily apartment buildings. So I was looking for 20, 50 doors apartment buildings, and they came to me with like, we're going to convert this 4-bedroom house in Carrollton to 8 bedrooms. And when you run the numbers, it's almost like a mini apartment, and it was better cash flow. It just made sense. So I went into that. I'm like, wow, that was easy, and then replicated it after that.
Okay, and how long have you been doing this now with co-living?
So a year and a half.
Okay.
Tops. I don't even. Trying to think. That first deal came about. 20 end of 2023.
Okay, so almost 2 years.
Not even, but no, go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Almost. So, can you give the audience a little bit background about what does a co-living entail? What are some of the wins, losses, lessons that you've gotten in these past 2 years?
So, for those that co-living is literally what the name implies. Mm-hmm. It's taking like a single family home, whatever the bedroom count is, and that so typical 4-bedroom house, you want to try and convert it to bigger. So now you're going to convert maybe a living room or basement or any of the extra rooms that aren't really used, and split those up and convert them into bedrooms. So now you have more bedrooms in this single family home, and now you can bring in more people. And when you do the math on the numbers, it just works out better that putting more people into a house with lower, more affordable rents. Mm-hmm. And so it's a win-win for everyone. Okay.
And is it very strict on that? Do you need to apply permits, and does it need to be approved, or can people get away with it?
You got to check. You got to check. So every city is different. Yeah. Certain cities, counties, maybe even states will or won't allow it. So you have to make sure you check out the ordinances and rules before you get into it. Okay.
And are you seeing, adding square footage being a thing for co-living? Let's say, for example, adding extra space in the back of the yard, or just adding an ADU, actually. Is that cost effective in the co-living world?
I haven't got into any of those deals, so I haven't run the numbers, but just off the top of my head, I'm thinking probably not. The way to make it cost effective is take an existing home that's, like I said, 4, 6, whatever. You kind of want almost as many bedrooms as you can. Obviously, it's not going to work with a 20-bedroom mansion in Beverly Hills. The numbers don't work out. Right. But other parts of the country where you have 4, 6, 8 bedrooms, and then you can even add in additional bedrooms by cutting up the bonus room, the living room, whatever other extra rooms that aren't being used. You want to keep there's a common kitchen, a common dining room. Everyone can use that, but the extra space, the living rooms, the basements, anything that you can divvy up a garage space and put put bedrooms in, it makes it the numbers work out pretty good.
Awesome. So one thing that pops into my head is the tenant situation, right? If you have more people living on site, the more problem that might be, the more drama there could be. So how are you guys able to keep the culture in place and making sure you set the right expectation and the ground rules for everyone living there to have a peaceful time?
I think, knock on wood, my places have worked out good. I haven't heard of any issues. We outsource the management, and it's almost like because you have different people in there, they kind of watch over. This is my view, because I was concerned about doing like renting out a single family home to a single family. And you always hear about the horror stories where they trash the place and like that. So in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I have all these separate, disparate people, individuals renting out the rooms. They're going to kind of watch over one another and not let the house get trashed. That's kind of how I think about it. Maybe that's not going to happen, but so far, knock on wood, it's all worked out well.
Have you been in this type of asset class before, like student housing, where it's like rent by the rooms and stuff?
No, I mean, when I was in college, we shared, but these were with your buddies, so we shared homes together and stuff like that. But that's a long time ago.
Yeah, because the reason why I ask these questions is because in my experience, right, college, and during my college days, when I lived with just two other roommates, we had issues with someone leaving stuff in the counter and not cleaned up. Right, and there's gonna be little things here and there, and I can't imagine living with 7 other people and not running into issues like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. And I'm thinking back to a long time ago when I had the roommates, and you fight over that, and then on the one hand, I'm thinking like, well. For the most, I mean, I helped pay some rent, but my parents helped me pay my rent. I had my other roommates where they didn't have, their parents paid their rent, so they didn't even care. Whereas I look at the people that are in these co-living facilities, they're older, grown adults. I mean, there could be, I haven't rented out to any college students or anything like that, but that totally could happen. But because they're older, mature adults that are renting out these rooms, they want to take care of their place and their living space, and so I think they watch over, and there are no issues like that.
Bingo. So the demographics you're targeting is basically
I think it's just because I don't have a lot of. You have to ask maybe someone that has more co-living facilities than I do, or who maybe does it in a more college-ish area. Like I keep going back to my one place that's in Carrollton. It's in the middle of nowhere, so it's kind of adults that are working in that area, and they keep to themselves, and they're quiet, and so there's going to be no issues like that. Another place that I don't even think we have it rented. We just finished a location in Tennessee, and it's near a military base, so I'm envisioning some military folks that are going to live in there, and they'll kind of hopefully self-manage, watch over one another.
Yeah, okay. So when you get into these deals, do you specifically look for demographics, or you kind of just go into it thinking, okay, these are the type of workforce that's typically living around there, and these are pretty much who we're targeting? And do you work in tandem with the property management company? Do you actually go and ask them, what type of clients, what type of tenants can I get for this area? How do you go about
I'm
doing
more,
due diligence?
the way I've come into, I'm more hands off. I'm the guy that sits at, I live here in Los Angeles, and everything is way remote, all across the country. So hear no evil, see no evil. I don't know. don't know what's going on. I have the people that report back to me, that either the management company or my other business partners. This is what's happening. Everything's fine. The AC broke. I hear random stuff, but I'm like, okay, whatever. The management company is going to go fix the AC or fix the broken toilet and stuff like that. Don't hear about the tenants, any issues like that. And I don't know if I care or want to know. I mean, if someone blows up or takes a shotgun to the wall or something, I'm going to want to know that. But otherwise, I don't really care as long as and I'm getting paid, the money's coming in, so I'm happy.
Yeah, that makes total sense to me. And some people, they want to be hands off. I'm with you on that. I'm sort of in that realm of I want to just be a passive investor, but I have to be an active investor first to make my active income, right? For what Pace Morby talks about all the time. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, in terms of just being more hands off, what would you say your role is in the real estate community? Are you like a capital raiser? Are you looking to operate a boutique hotel? Like what's your role, so to speak?
I'm still maybe trying to figure out my role. I can raise capital easily. I mean, I have some capital, but I also have connections to capital. So that's why I wasn't even concerned about the hotel and that I'm going to need $60 million for it. I'll find the money somehow. So that's not a worry for me. My worry is what goes into it, the market survey and all that. I like to make sure I underwrite the deals. So I'm big into that, and the spreadsheets and the calculations and how is it going to make money? Is it going to cash flow? What are the things we need to worry about? The contingencies? Is the roof good? And whatever the gotchas are. But once it's going, I just hope that it's going to continue to roll and everything's going to be fine. Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about your boutique hotel. I mean, it sounds like you pretty much got everything all handled, finding the deal, doing your due diligence, putting everything together on the pitch deck, and so that you're able to, eventually raise some capital for this deal, right? Sounds like you got everything covered. I mean, is there anything that the community or so forth that you can get help, or anything that you want to?
The bad part for me is that I probably should reach out to more people and ask for help, because I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know the mistakes I'm making or already making. Luckily, I do have another business partner, Joe Prenger, in Kansas City, Missouri. So he's maybe a year ahead of me, and he's doing a boutique hotel with a name brand. I forget. I want to say Sheridan. So he helps guide me on the things that I need to do.
Very cool. How'd you meet your mentor, sort of partner?
So I met Joe at in Chicago, one of the Kwok Brothers events, and we hit it off. We started talking once a month, and now we talk once a week. And we started off as doing like mailing campaigns and stuff, because we were both looking for multifamily. He was looking in Kansas City, where he lives. I'm looking in Cincinnati, and we kind of agreed to do things together. And then now that I found the hotel, he's been helping me out immensely. He'll probably invest in the hotel, and he's the one who connected me to one of the board of directors of Marriott Hotels, who's given me a lot of great advice. So I am meeting people. I should probably reach out to more people. It can't hurt to know more people and get more help. Hopefully I answered.
Oh yeah, that's thanks for sharing that. That's amazing. I think it's so cool for you to share that. Hey, I'm not just doing it by myself. I've met great people. I have good connection. I have someone that's providing guidance. And I wanted to touch upon a little bit on that is, how crucial it is to be part of Kwok's Brothers Mastermind, to be part of Pace Morby's Mastermind, to build these relationships, and how this has, translate into getting to where you're at today. I mean, just this it's powerful. It's so powerful. And why is it so important to have these mentors and partnerships, do you think?
Oh, it's huge. And I didn't know any of this in my previous career. I mean, I maybe had some. This world is so different, and in my other world where it was dog eat dog and cutthroat, and everyone's trying to beat you down. This is the exact opposite. Everyone here is so helpful and willing to lend a hand. I mean, it's crazy. We went to an event, and I brought my wife with me in Chicago. And everyone is like super nice, being helpful. How can we help? And that's how the Paces and all these communities are. She thought it was weird, and then there was this new guy there, and he goes, "Is this a cult? Something's wrong with you guys because everyone is too nice, too helpful. What's the catch?" And there is no catch. We're all here to help one another out. I'll pay it forward. I'll help out anyone that comes to me and asks for I help out people that don't ask for help. But anyone that comes to me, I'm glad to help them out.
Oh, that is hilarious. I've had a friend told me that before. Is this a cult? That's why I laugh. It's a common thing, when people don't really buy into it. They're skeptical. You mentioned in the cybersecurity space, it's a dog-eat-dog world. Can you elaborate on that? I'm so curious to find out.
I was on I'm probably not on the technical side. It's not like that because everyone is trying. It's a community, and they all have to help each other out. But I was on the sales side of things, and from every direction, you have your competition, obviously, that's trying to beat you out for whatever, and then even internally fighting with your peers and colleagues that are other salespeople in the company, trying to steal your deals, take your customers. There was no collaboration, nothing like I see on what I'm doing now. It was just the exact opposite. It was brutal, and my life has changed. My life and outlook on life is so much better now. The world is better. Everything's better in real estate compared to what I was doing previously.
Right. Did you do inside sales?
No, never. I was outside, mainly focused on public sector. I mean, I had a lot of fun. I got to travel around the world. Near the end, one of my mentors let me cover the Department of Defense, so I was selling to the Navy, Air Force, Marines, and some of the intelligence agencies, and it was awesome. The people that I got to meet, I got to go into top secret meetings. That was awesome.
Wow,
fun and exciting.
I bet.
But this is so much better.
I know it is, right? Being able to build your own path and create this entrepreneurship for yourself, it's super exciting. It's a lot of time and effort and energy and a lot of work, but it's all worth it at the end of the day, as long as we can really build wealth and legacy for ourselves and our family, right, at the end of the day. So I think we're going a little bit over time. I think we're just right on time, so to speak. But is there anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
I'm willing and happy to share. Whoever sees this can reach out to me. I'm happy to help pass along whatever knowledge I have that they think is going to be beneficial, useful to them. And I don't know what else to say. If you have a question, I'm more than happy to answer any other questions. I'm an open book. Sometimes my wife says that I say too much.
Yeah, okay. So let me ask you this one last question is I always ask, I'm going to ask every single one of my speakers is, if you can go back in time and give yourself a piece of advice during the time where you're about to get started with real estate investing, what's that one piece of advice you would give yourself?
Jump in and do it. Don't waste time.
Take action, right?
Take action.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much for your time, Gary. I really appreciate it.